Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Thursday morning. Sunny out. We had a little cold snap, but it's gotten better. So wish you a great Thursday. Hey, there's Ratfink. He's on. Howdy, everybody. UK's on. We got the whole crowd's coming in, so that's cool. It's warming up today. It's the last couple of days been chilly here. And I know it's not that chilly for all you guys, but for us it is. Yeah, it was cold yesterday, Ratfink. We did go out and filmed a park yesterday, but it was cold on it. Hey, Google. Good morning.
Good morning, lucky dog. It is 8 a.m. Currently in DeLand it's 55 and cloudy. Today, it'll be cloudy with a forecasted high of 69 and a low of 55. Have a wonderful day.
Well, they're saying 69. That's 70. It's better. It's getting warm up again. It's like, I don't like it. Yeah, you're right, UK. Freezing, you know. We don't like it. But, you know, yesterday, like I said, we went out and filmed. And it wasn't really that bad. It was early, but when you're moving around, it helps out. Flew the drone. We went out to this Colby Alterman Park. It was pretty interesting park. Never been there. Yeah, it's over at Casadega on it. So we filmed there yesterday. We'll have that video coming out on Sunday. We just put out the one at Gemini Springs. That was a cool one. So it's been doing some filming out there. British says MHN. I'm not sure what that means. I'm just not good at abbreviations. So how's things with Ratfink this morning? Every time when Ratfink's on, I have to come up and put on the Ratfink picture, you know, because it's just I think it's cool. There it is, in honor of Ratfink. I love that picture. It all means yes. Okay, that means yes. Cool. You have to fill me in on abbreviations. I don't get them. But anyways, that's a big thing right now. Abbreviations. I don't understand them. They don't make sense to me. Like that. There you go. UK. Yeah. So I guess we probably all use some abbreviations. I'm just not in. It's like it's exploded. Abbreviations, like they abbreviate everything. Hey, there's John. Morning, John. Minus 8C here this morning. 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Brr. Yeah, you're right there. I'm glad you put the Fahrenheit, because then I have to translate it. Hey, I've been seeing some. We let Google do it. Yeah, Jesus reason for the season. You're right, UK. Yeah, morning, John. I've been looking at some of the. You've been doing some pretty cool woodworking out in your shop. I saw those boards, like cutting boards you're made of. Some really cool ones there. So I really like those. Looks like John's got a really nice woodworking shop set up, you know. And I did that years ago. I made a few things. I didn't get crazy. Didn't have any real good tools, but you know, I made a bench, and I made a couple cupboards and stuff there. So that was fun. Woodworking's a lot of fun. My neighbor does that. I love woodworking. A bit about a hobby of working. Yeah, it's a cool hobby. I say my neighbor, he has a shop in his garage with all. I mean, he's got some really nice tools, but he actually does that for a living. He's a cabinet maker by choice, you know, or by trade. But there's some cool. He made. I found this little knife. It has a wooden handle on it, and it's almost like a hacksaw blade, and you use it to cut bread and stuff there. And he's made those and went to some shows and sold them. But they're pretty cool. But yeah, woodworking's a lot of fun. Great hobby, you know. And I appreciate what people do on it, and having some cool tools. Hey, you see, we're all decorated for Christmas. See our background there? We got our that's just what we do. It makes it, you know, this is the easiest way to decorate for Christmas. You just look up the thing on YouTube and you post it on your TV, and there you are. We're all decorating. And when we want to take it down, bam, just a click of the button, all the Christmas decorations down. So that's what I like. Hey, Jeff B. Good morning, Jeff. Welcome to the Kennel Club. All the lucky dogs here in the Kennel Club. That's cool. That was John. Jeff came up with the Kennel Club idea, so that's cool. But I like it, the Kennel Club. UK says, my dad made a perfect spear out of wood and brick with a single saw before. That's awesome. There's a show on called The Woodwright Shop. It's I think it's under public broadcasting. And it's cool to watch him. He does everything by hand tools. You know, he doesn't have any of the power tools or anything. And so we do it all with hand tool. Yeah, UK said he was one of the best. Yeah, I bet he was good, UK. Hey, we got our coffee mug. Hey, Jeff, did you get your chat mug? We got our coffee chat mug. We're drinking orange juice in it this morning. I didn't even mix. Orange juice tastes good. You know, I don't know what that is about them, but if you haven't got your coffee chat mug, check it out. It really makes things good.
It's oranges. Speaking of orange juice, our oranges should be about ready.
Yeah. The oranges are ripe. We have lemons out there. They're ripe. This is the season, December. It's when the orange and these little cold snaps make them sweeter, so they're even better. Yeah, John says Woodwright Shop takes too long to cut your fingers off. Yeah, you cut your fingers off the slow and painful way. Oh, morning, Ron. Ron's on this morning. How you doing? Is it cold up in Myrtle Beach? I know there were some cold areas going through that area. On just got a text update out for delivery. That's cool. Yours took a little longer than mine to come in, but you know this time of year, everything is running slow because of Christmas. You know, the shippers and that are running slow. Yeah, say hi to Ron, or say hi to Sandy, Ron. So say hi, Sandy. Sandy's, I think, watches them, so she might be there. Hi, Sandy. Ratfink says orange juice tastes better with vodka in it. It does. I think we have a little bit of rum. I don't think we have any vodka. Ron says yes. I don't know.
Liquor run.
Nah, we never did. We never went to the liquor store. We went to, where did we go? We went to Odd Lots. There you go. Have you guys ever do Odd Lots? Oh, she says hi. Hi, Sandy. So, yeah.
Hi, Sandy.
Went to Odd Lots and got, we talked about the last time there. I got a new pair of glasses. These are, I call them dollar store glasses, but these was a little bit more. Hopefully they won't scratch as quick on it. Got set of, this might squeal if I get it up here. Set of headphones. Got those. So got some earphones on. So just the cool stuff at Odd Lots. We picked up some candy. Oh, there's Scott. Hi, Scott. Good morning. Is it nice and chilly in Pennsylvania? So we got a fire going along with the Christmas decorations, just to keep everything nice and warm, you know. Yeah, good to see everybody's on this morning. Enjoying. Gosh, Christmas is coming pretty quick, you know. This is what, the 13th. That means it's what, 12 days a way, you know.
12, yeah.
Well, 60s and rain tomorrow. We're supposed to get some more rain. Yeah, I'm with you, Scott. Not a fan of the cold weather. I don't like it, you know. Said we did go out yesterday. Scott had made a comment on my video from the Gemini Springs about I was saying it's cold, but I had a t-shirt on, you know. And yesterday I did the same thing, but you know, it got nice. We woke up yesterday. Oh, what was it? 38 degrees.
It was 38. Yeah.
It was cold.
Actually, it went down to 34.
Yeah, went down 34, and so about 9 o'clock we went out, and I flew the drone a little bit, and it got nice. You know, I had to take off. I had a jacket on, took the jacket off, and walked around in a t-shirt. So it was good. So again, that video will come out on Sunday. There, the one from Colby Alderman Park. That was yesterday's video we did yesterday on it. Yeah, it's got. Jeff says it looks like Bob and Sue are ready for Christmas. Yeah, Jeff, we're all set. There we go. We just click on the button and Christmas all day. And look how nice it looks, you know.
If I could expand that to the whole wall.
Yeah, you can do the whole wall. We need to get a bigger TV.
A bigger TV.
That's it. We need to get a bigger TV so we can have. That's what we'll do. We'll go out and get a bigger TV. How big of a TV do they make in a flat screen? 80-inch?
I don't know. What is this? 65?
This 65. You know, it needs to be bigger. You know, we need to get a bigger one. So. Ron, you have eaten at Lulu's? Yeah, there's a Lulu's up in Myrtle Beach. I've never ate there. There's one place in Myrtle Beach I ate years ago where they insult you. You go in there and the waitresses insult you. That's just their thing, you know. And Scott also says, what happened to those fish when you put up the Christmas decoration? Oh, they're there. Here, you can see the fish in the background. There's Oscar. He's all by himself now because he ate his tank mates. So but he seems like he's happy as long as I give him plenty of food. Oscar's happy, so
He wasn't getting enough food, so he
So
decided to eat one of them.
yeah, it's like I eat my tank mates. I ain't got enough food, so it's like let's eat.
Now he's staring at the goldfish in the other tank.
Yeah, he can see the next tank over, and he goes, man, if I could get over there, I'm gonna eat those goldfish. I mean, see that or not?
That's
See,
what he's doing. He's staring right at
see
it.
the tank over here. We have goldfish in it, and Oscar's sitting right there in the corner, and he's staring at the goldfish, thinking, man, if I could just get over there, I'd eat those guys. You know, it's like he's cannibalistic, I guess. That's the nature of fish, you know. So, Oscar, he's got, that's Oscar the Grouch. Ron said new Mamba 10 coming today, so got a new airplane coming on, you know. I want to go out. We did go out flying last weekend.
It was cold.
It was cold and windy and rainy, and so we didn't. So hope maybe this weekend to go out and fly a little bit. Jeff says rub it in, Bob. Orange lemon short sleeve t-shirts. Jeff, you'll have to come on down. Where's one?
Come on down.
Hey, I got a really nice email from Jeff yesterday. Appreciate it, Jeff. That was a really nice email you sent me there. Oh, much appreciated. Glad we were able to be part of your life, you know. Yeah, rub it in. It's like, yeah. So Scott's it was so cold when filming. No, was it so cold when filming that you needed socks? Yeah, I had socks on. No flip flops on it. Yeah, it was chilly, but it wasn't that bad because some of these parks have been doing, there's paths that I've walked down, and so it's really not that bad. It feels kind of good on it, you know, because you keep your body going. I guess it's good for me to walk, you know. Just said all I want for Christmas is my lucky mug. There you go. We'll have lucky mugs for Christmas. So I already got mine. Got mine earlier. So Jeff won't believe how good his coffee is going to taste once he gets his lucky mug on it. Ron says a replacement for the first one from Flex. Oh, so you had trouble with your first Mamba? Is that it? And they replaced, giving you a new one. Yeah, Sue had sweaters on yesterday. In the morning, but then you get, what she does, she'll sit down there and she'll wear like black sweats or whatever and sit in the sun, and believe it or not, they get hot. And she'll have to, when it's hot, I mean, she gets really hot because the sun hits those black sweats and it gets real hot. So she has to throw a blanket over just not to keep warm, to cover the heat, to get the sun off, you know. So yeah, it does. Yeah, just so Jeff be doing well. Looking forward to the holiday season and a trip to the Keys. Yeah. Hey Scott, you have to stop at Daytona on your trip to the Keys. Take a visit with us when you swing by. We'll do lunch or something. You know, you can if you out you can boondock and driveway as far as that goes. You know, but yeah, Keys are cool. One of these days we'll have to plan another Key trip. You know, it's just.
With a pass by Lake Okeechobee.
You can go by Lake Okeechobee, so we can. Actually, by the time Scott gets his review on Lake Okeechobee KOA, he will have been there and stayed there and done a video himself. So we'll all have a video on it. Yeah, Scott says I'll have to jump out at 3,000 feet. Oh, so you're flying down? Okay, 30,000 feet. Cool. That's the way to come down.
Get your parachute because they do jump out.
They do, yeah. They jump out, skydive to land, right? I mean, it's like in our back, you know, right in our backyard. So you could do that if you're a skydiver, Scott. You could jump out, land right here in our backyard. You'd be all set.
You'd be a little short of your goal, though.
Yeah, you might not. It's about 5 hours to the Keys, so. Jeff said that was one of the prettiest parks I've seen. You guys upload. Still say that was a snake in the driveway. Yeah, they're in the walkway because that's thanks, Jeff. That was a cool park there. That's Gemini Springs. It really was pretty. The park yesterday, I was surprised how much was there. There was a beautiful pathway, and it told the story a little bit of this. It was George Colby who come down from New York and settled the spiritualist community over there in Casadega, and it had some history on it. So it was kind of interesting on it. Ron says the first one, the right aileron stopped working on takeoff. Wow. And found a wire connection that came apart. So they took care of it. That's great. You know, sometimes even brand new stuff will do that, but as long as they take care of it, you know, send me a new one now. Just as now Scott is rubbing it in. Scott says, I fly planes, but I won't jump out of a perfect good. I won't either. I agree with you, Scott. I watch them skydive every day here, and I love to watch them. No way I'm not jumping out of no airplane. You know, as long as the thing is still flying, I'm not jumping out of it. So, but it's cool to watch them, you know. Oh, Ron said the pin connector had fell out, so that was a manufacturer defect, Ron. And so I'm glad they took care of it. So you really never probably got the chance to fly. Did it do it right when you took off? Did you get a chance to check it out at all on it? Jeff said the wildlife shots were awesome, especially the fish. Yeah, that was cool. You know that if you guys watched that video there on Gemini Springs, there was one fish. I did a close-up, and he had this big smile on his face, and he had these buggy eyes. I was trying to figure out, and I even tried to search it, what kind of fish was that? For a minute, I thought it was a big mouth bass, because he had such a big mouth, but I don't think bass have that big buggy of an eye sticking out, so I was trying to figure out what kind of fish that was. It was pretty awesome. But thanks, Jeff. Appreciate that. Yeah, Susan, I agree with Scott. Why jump out of a perfect good airplane? Yeah, really. Why? You know, the airplane's still flying. Why jump out of that? You know, that's. I'm not doing it. So anyway, let me put up real quick here. I wanted to share with you this is the little thing. That's where we went yesterday, Colby Altman Park. We went over there and did a little filming yesterday. So that was yesterday's film there. Back over here to my regular screen. Oh, Jeff says, I no longer jump in a perfect good airplane. In a perfect good. Yeah, Raffing says, I have relatives who live on Lake Okeechobee in Buckhead Ridge, so that's cool. There you go, Scott. Maybe Raffing's.
Talk to Ratfin.
Yeah, maybe they can check out the KOA for you. I tell you, if I go down that way again, which I don't know if I'll take the road trek down or not, I would go down that direction. Instead of going down 95, go down, I forget the name of the road, but down through Okeechobee and avoid Miami and some of those places on it. So I would go down that way, but I don't have no plans right now. So Ron says I flew it 2 times before that happened, and then I fixed the old one. So I think I'm going to sell the new one. Oh, there you go. So you got the old one gone, so you got a brand new one to sell. Yeah, you can get it, sell and get part of your money back. You give somebody a good deal on it, and you still come out good. So that would be awesome. That'd be the way to go. Some of these places are real good when you have a problem like that. They'll fix it up for you. You know. Yeah, I was going to relate with Jeff when I was flying my drone yesterday. I was flying with the goggles, and I was up pretty high there, kind of way, and the screen went blank, which really is no problem, but I've never had that happen before. And all I did is hit return to home. It came back home to me, you know, but I could actually see it in the air and fly it back version, but I never had that happen before. And then I flew it again. It was fine. I don't know if I just lost signal or what the deal was with that. Oh yeah, Raffing's Tamiami Trail. That's a pretty area down there around the Tamiami Trail. Just as if it was if it weren't for what family I have left here, I'd move to Florida today. There you go. Yeah, I moved there for years ago. I never had any kids myself, but I don't know. I don't let family keep me from doing what I want to do, because it's still my life, you know. And you got to enjoy where you're at and what you're doing. And I love Florida. I just truly love Florida. Some people don't like it, you know, and that's all right. But some people just think it's too hot in the summer time. So, Ron said I had my DJI do that. Yeah, I've had that. I've had my Phantom 3 lose connection before, and it usually comes back. on it. But the cool thing with them, when you take off, you always make sure you have your home point set. You know, home point updated. It'll usually say that. And even if you don't have connection with your video screen where you're not seeing your drone, you still have control over it. Your controller will still work unless you've flown it completely out of your control distance, but then it will automatically return to home if you do that. And your controller has a way to, the Phantoms, you click the button like 3 times and it'll come back. And the Mavic has a button you push to come back, and then you always come back to home. So, you know, that's the thing. Oh, Scott says, I believe that it's a catfish. You know, I think you're right. Sue said it was a catfish.
It didn't have the whiskers, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I didn't see the whiskers on it, was what threw me off. And it looked like it had some gills, which generally a catfish don't have gills on it. But I'll have to look at that video closer again, trying to figure out what that was. So
it was weird. It had bug eyes.
It was weird. It was bug eye. Maybe it was a mutated bass. You know, I don't know.
It was a big fish.
It was a big fish. You know, yeah, it was. It was a big fish. So.
What they called it one in Grumpy Old Men, was it Big Daddy, or what do they call it?
Oh, what was that? If you guys watched that movie Grumpy Old Man, that was a cool. I have to watch that again. I love that movie there, and they were out there fishing on it. Putts. What did he else say? He called putts and moron. That movie cracked me up.
What did they call that big fish?
Walter.
Huh?
Was it Walter? No.
I don't remember. We'll have to watch it now.
Oh, so yeah, they had trying to catch this big fish, and they finally caught it, and they couldn't keep it.
The outtakes at the end of the movie were the best.
Yeah.
Were the best parts of the movie, actually.
Yeah, the outtakes was pretty cool.
With the dad. With the dad.
Yeah, just those eyes were creepy. Like they were. I mean, I got the close up inside. They were creepy. I had a couple other ones I was trying to film. And sometimes down through the water, you have to get it just right, or the camera won't focus on it and that. So there was several other fish I were trying to film, but that one there, I caught it. And it's hard to see when you're filming that. It's hard to see it through the little lens there, the little screen you have. And so then when you play it back, you really don't see what you got till you play it back as good. And I got back, I looked at that fish, I thought, wow, that's cool, but wow, that's weird. No, that's a weird fish. I didn't know if he was mutated or, you know, what his issue was.
Prehistoric.
And maybe it was. Oh, Jeff said I meant to Google search that too. Yeah, I did Google search some fish. I did fish in Gemini Springs, fish in Springs, and I really...
Didn't see it?
I didn't see it, you know. I mean, I looked through and I just really didn't see one that I thought looked like it. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's maybe it's mutated. Years ago, I used to have a little garden pond right off the deck out here. And I had goldfish in it and had like a little waterfall coming down. And the problem with it, it was right underneath the bedroom window. And it was good for a long time, but then the frogs took over the pond. And at nighttime, they would start croaking, brap, 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 you know. And I'm sitting there trying to sleep, and all I hear is those crazy frogs. And I remember getting up at night and throwing stuff out there. Well, finally, I had an old flea bomb, and I set it out there and set that off, thinking, man, I'll drive them away. And these frogs, I don't know if I mutated them or what, but instead of having a regular, they had a real deep, brap, brap. I don't know if it was that flea bomb or what, but I ended up taking that little pond out because I couldn't stand the frogs there. Oh, was that freshwater salt? That was freshwater. That was freshwater springs. In that video, what was kind of cool, when I first started walking through it, they had this yellow gate up, and so I wonder what that's all about. And here there was a sinkhole there, and they put that up to keep people away from it, which we get a lot of sinkholes in Florida. And that one there, the one area there looks like a sinkhole. And I think some of the springs started out as being sinkholes. I see little areas all over Florida where there's like a small, perfectly round pond in that. And what it was eventually is a sinkhole goes all the way down to the aquifer. And then it gets down far enough, the water will boil up there. and you'll have the springs. And that's what Gemini springs. They have all a bunch of just little springs all over the place. You'll see little bubble ups all over. Where other springs, say like De Leon Springs, I want to go over there again and do a video. De Leon Springs has a huge hole in the ground that goes all the way down, like a cave, and they actually dive. Same with over here at Blue Springs, and they dive down in there, and divers will go down, and there've been incidents where they've gotten down there and drowned it and get back up. But those have a huge boil, where these at Gemini Spring has all these little boils on it. Ratfink says, haha, I have a koi pond outside my window, and when it rains they started croaking anyway. I know, isn't that weird, Ratfink? They I love them, but those stupid frogs, they just, I don't mind it so much during the day, but at nighttime, boy, they start their croaking and stuff there, and I'm trying to sleep, and you know, that one night I declared war on frogs. I was getting up there throwing stuff at them. Yeah, Sue said ribbit, ribbit. But I was throwing stuff at them, and I loved that little pond. It was kind of cool. I had like a little waterfall. It was just, I got these at like Walmart, and they the fish would actually jump up and go up that little stream, and then come back down. So it was cool. I had to get rid of it. I couldn't sleep. You know, it was crazy. Ron says I got a DX8 for my Edge 540. So I can separate the ailerons, and also had to reverse the servo for the throttle. Okay, that 540 will be a good flying plane. I had a 540, flew great. Those are they'll fly as good upside down as they do right side up because they're symmetrical on it, and you can slow it way down. Thing will actually float pretty good on it. So that's a cool airplane, Ron. That Edge 540 on. I had mine a long time, but I had an incident. The servo stripped out. I did one of these little, where you spin it down and you stop and recover it, and it never recovered because the spleen on the servo stripped out, and it never went neutral, and so it just kept spinning right into the ground. Jeff says, educate me on our Gulf Coast. We have another type of water in the back bay. Sometimes, remember what it was called? Oh, brackish water? Is that what you're talking about? And we have areas here back into the off the intercoastal and that, and it's called brackish waters, where it's kind of a salt freshwater mixture.
You get some of the salt water from the ocean blended in there.
Yeah, and it blends into there, and so it's called brackish, and there's a whole bunch of different fish, brackish watered fish, that will live in there. Yeah, John says brackish water. Yeah, brackish water. It's just kind of, I think they call it brackish because it's brack from the ocean, but it's a mixture of salt and fresh water. And it's pretty cool. All kinds of interesting killifish and different fish that live in. There's an archer fish that lives in a brackish water on it. So they're kind of a mix between salt water and fresh water. Oh, Scott said I think it was a white catfish. I think you're right, Scott. I really do, because it just looked like a catfish. I'll have to do a search on white catfish and see if that resembles it, but I do believe you're right, you know. Raffink says I would love to learn how to fly. My track record is 0 to 1. Well, you know, it takes a little bit. Get a trainer plane, Ratflank. You know, come out to the RC club and I'll give you a hand.
Come on out, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm what they call a introductory pilot instructor, which our club. Yeah, but you have to have, like our club requires you have AMA. AMA is a insurance policy just in case something was happening. You're insured like up to $2 million. But AMA has this introductory pilot program where I can take someone and they can fly with me for 30 days learning how to fly. And if some reason they don't decide to go on with it, you can go on, but yet you're covered flying with me because I have that instructor thing with AMA. But yeah, if you want to learn to fly, you can come out to Daytona Club and see what we do. May help you out. Scott said I got to head out to work, so see you all later. Okay, Scott, have a good day. Hope everything's really a nice Thursday for you. So we'll see you again next time, Scott. UK said I might have to stick to my drone That was Wi-Fi. Aha. Yeah, drones are fun. I love my drones. You know, they're fun. Ron's been flying for about 6 months. He's done really good. Once if I put my all my planes on the DX8, I'll have to rebind all the perimeters, and even if I allow them from my, you know, check on that, Ron. Some of those radios will have a program where you can download them onto your radio, put them on a little card, and put them on the new one, and it'll upload it. So check into that. Sometimes you're able to transfer one plane to another radio. So I don't know if they all do that, but I know some of them you could on it. So check into that. You might be able to just download them onto your little SD card, put them into your 8, and upload them, and be all set to go. So you might check on that. Now, John says, bye-bye, BB. Jeff said, I've learned with electronics, if it's an obvious malfunction, fix it. If it's a glitch, don't try to figure that out. Yeah, it's true. You know, if you do have an obvious thing there, you do fix it. But once in a while, electronics will glitch. And I've had that in the past. Same with computers. Something don't work right, restart the program, and it's just fine. It's called a glitch. And they'll do that. But if it is a problem that's obvious, there's a malfunction, something's not gone right, then you need to fix that, you know. But with electronics, little glitches is kind of commonplace, and you know, that's just kind of way to go with. And the biggest thing when people have a problem with their computer, their cell phones, any electronic, restart it, shut it off, restart it, and that'll fix so many problems. You know, it just takes care of it. Oh, bye, Scott. Get that sparkle we have out there. Yeah, I appreciate it. John says, I'm heading out to the garage to gather up tools and to wire in a generator transfer switch with the furnace. So power outages if your light's dim for a second. So that's what you say. Yeah, we'll pray for you, John. It's like when you mess with electricity, you got to be very careful. So, all right, hope that works out good for you. But yeah, it's good to have if you have a power, especially when it's cold up there, get some heat back on, you know.
Right.
One thing, when we lose power here when it's warm, that's not so bad. But when it's cold, oh my God, I don't want to lose power. I want heat. Oh, Ron said I did that, but you still have to bind them to the DX8. Okay, so you got to still go into the binding process for each. Well, yeah, I think you do. You're right. You got to bind each model, even though the perimeters is set up for that model. You still got to bind that model. So yeah, you're right. And that binding's ain't too hard to do. Yeah, Sue says, hey, John, be safe out there. Yeah, have a good day, John. So have fun out there at the shop. I like taking on stuff like that. You know, that's fun figuring it out. Even when it frustrates you, it's still kind of fun, even though you get frustrated when you're working on something like that. I've been working on, I've been editing on DaVinci. I started using DaVinci here about maybe a month ago. I don't know if it's been quite a month, but close. Still learning that, finding different ways that program works. And probably the biggest issue I've had changing over to DaVinci is getting my sound levels right. When I was using Shotcut, it seemed like sound wasn't too hard to get it balanced. DaVinci has a lot more flexibility, and once in a while I'll render out a video and I'll preview it and listen, and the sound's not right. And then I try, so that's probably been my biggest issue, getting my sound just right, because I listen to it when I'm editing a video and it sounds good in that, but then you play it back, maybe the voices are too low and the music's too loud, or music's too loud and the voice is too low. So that's probably been my biggest thing. So you talk about tweaking out a electronics program, and that sometimes will drive me nuts with that. So electronics are that way, you know. It's it can drive you crazy, and things not to be afraid of. Like, I think people get afraid of the computer, you know, afraid to, oh, I'm gonna mess it up. Nah, you gotta mess it up. Sue said, does anyone remember the great power outage in November, in northeast part of North America about 15 years ago? It was a squirrel calls about the power grid, Mansfield High. Yeah, I do remember that. It kind of knocked out all over the
It
place.
took the entire power grid out.
Yeah.
All across the northeast part of the country, even up in Canada.
Because this crazy little squirrel got in the grid, you know. Oh, Jeff wanted to say I still say that Lumix looks like 4K. It's awesome video. But oh, thanks, Jeff. You know, I need to check it. I really think I'm shooting in 1080, but I know it does really nice videos. I'll have to look at the settings. When I first got that camera, there's some things I didn't like. It seemed like the focus wouldn't stay in, and this and that. And I messed around one day, and I got this settings. And right now, the way it's set, it's like it's done good. You know, the focus is pretty good. Once in a while, it'll focus on something I don't want it to, but the focus is good. The quality is good. So it's been doing some awesome pictures. The only thing I don't like about it, if I shoot a selfie version of it, its lens isn't wide angle enough that I made up this. Do I have it here? I tore apart a. Here it is. This was part of a tripod, a cheap tripod I had, and you have to get it when you're doing a selfie. You have to get it far away from you. And this thing was pretty cool. I'm able to open this up and stretch this thing out, put the camera and get it, you know, get it out away from me there. And it's still nothing too good. I wish it had a wide angle lens on it is the only thing about it. Otherwise that camera is pretty good. I wish it had a external mic input where I could put a boom mic or something on it, you know. Ron says my AMA expires in May, and everyone stayed, no, you have to renew in January. I got a hold of AMA and they said that you renew it on the month you started. Really? Well, that's probably true. I guess, see, I started mine in December and it was due. And I wish it wasn't December because everything's due in December. You know, club dues are due in September, property tax is due in December, and you know, just all this stuff. And so when I had belonged to AMA for years ago, and then I didn't do nothing with it for years, let it go, and then I rejoined it in December. So I think you're right, Ron, that it's due when you're joined it. You know, otherwise you would you have an anniversary date. You know. Oh, just I remember that, Sue. Yeah, it was quite a power out. You know. John, I haven't purchased a good camera for shooting video yet. I would recommend the Canon Mark II X3. That's the one I really wanted. A little bit more money than the Lumix that I got here. Although I like this one, I'd still like to have the Canon one. The things that I like about a camera for video, for one, the here's my Lumix. The one thing of it is to have the flip-up screen, where if you're doing a selfie version, you can see what you're shooting. So that's one thing I like on a camera. Zoom's nice. I like a nice zoom on it. The 1-inch sensor, the Canon Mark II, I'd have to can't remember the exact model number, but that one has a 1-inch sensor, so it's better in low light, which is important if you start shooting toward the evening or indoors. And it also has an input where if you want to put like a boom mic or lap mic through it, you can do that. In your overall, your width on it, if you're it's too close. So if you have a wider width is better. So if I had the money, I would have much rather had the Canon. Although I like this camera, it's really a good camera, and maybe someday I'll get the Canon. But and they're not so big that you have this huge camera with all this stuff on it. And so, but that would have been my choice, would be the Canon, if I had the money and could have bought the one I wanted, you know, on it. So I would lean you towards that, Jeff, even though I've never owned it, but I've seen other. Tim Tracker, a big one, he lives close by. He uses the Canon, does Disney videos, and he has such good pictures, and that's his main camera. And I think he's had a couple of those Canons, and so that would be my choice. Sue says, yes, Jeff, my cousin from Australia, we're here, and we went to Michigan. Power went out up there and was daytime and still didn't realize it. And my cousin's mom called us from Australia. So you had to learn the power outage all the way from Australia.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Exactly right. Then we drove home in the dark because all the light. We drove down Telegraph Road, whatever, 24, heading back to Ohio in the pitch black because there was no traffic lights out. No, and cops were directing traffic. So it was kind of dangerous, actually.
Isn't that crazy? Why what a squirrel can do? Just said I watched several of your videos last night on the best settings for this new phone for videoing. I didn't have mine set right till now. It has a pretty awesome capability. I have that LG phone that I like. It does nice pictures on it. You know, I mean, it's not as good as some of the high quality cameras, but that's pretty good. The thing with my other camera, I had to take the focus off of autofocus, because what would happen, autofocus was constantly focusing on something, and it would blur in and out. And when I did that, now I don't get so much of that. Once in a while you'll get it, but it just seemed that the autofocus, it was constantly blurring in and out, and it used to be irritating. So I took it off. Autofocus was a big setting that I made. Sue says we later made T-shirts that said, "Where were you when the lights went out?" Haha. I had a picture of a light bulb next to it. It's like, yeah, where were you when the lights went out? Was there a big baby boom 9 months after that power?
I bet so.
They say that happens, you know, when you get stuck without television. What else are you going to do, you know? Shoot videos. Well, if you can't charge your camera, that'd be hard to do that too.
Solar.
Yeah, you got solar.
It's dark, you can't.
Yeah, you'd have to have enough sunshine to do your solar on it. Yeah, power outages. We get them here during hurricanes and stuff, and they're no fun. But I think about people up north. They get a big storm in the wintertime, and it's cold, and it's like, wow, that's hard to deal with. I can handle being warm, but I just have trouble handling being cold. And man, you go up there and your heat's off. It's cold. It's crazy. So it's like, yeah, I don't do well in cold weather, and I feel sorry for people who have power outages up north. You know, that's just a crazy thing on it. So yeah, our electric here is pretty good as far as losing power or anything. We don't get that too often on it. So. Well, we'll soon have to go purchase a turkey. We go down here to Publix and get our turkey. Have our Christmas turkey. I'll have to get one before they're all out and do that. Oh, Ratfink says I'm in the sticks, so when power goes out, I also lose water and septic. Yeah, so do we. We have we have our own well, septic tank. You know, we don't lose septic. But I lose power. I mean, I lose water because the well don't go on it. And we used to have a swimming pool. We had an above-ground swimming pool, and we used that a lot during outages, but we got rid of that. So, you know, you could go out there and take a bucket, flush toilets and stuff with. But that would be the only time I think I'll miss the swimming pool. If we got a hurricane coming, I'll plan. My neighbor lets his boat fill full of rainwater. And then his boat, he has a little, rowboat, fishing boat, and then he can use the water out of the rowboat. But I would put out pots and things there, or fill them up so you have excess water to just use to clean and flush toilets and things like that. So, yeah, when you're out in the sticks like that, like Radfink said, you lose power, you lose everything, you know. Just see, this phone shoots HUD 3840 by 2160 frames. That's pretty good. That is a good frame rates, you know. And the thing too, and I always upload all my videos in 1080. You can go up higher in that, but if you do that, sometimes people trying to watch your videos, if their machine isn't fast enough or capable enough, they'll get like it won't be clear, or it'll buffer off and on. So yeah, I hope you don't lose septic. Yeah, well, you can always use a tree out back. You know, if all else fails, use a tree. Or they have those. You watch the nomads and stuff there in the vans and stuff, and they have a bucket and poop in a bucket. You know, that's what they do. Put a little kitty litter in it. And this one guy, he lives in his camper, and he has sewer hooked up, but that's what he does. It's like, man, if I had sewer, I'm not going to poop in a bucket. You know, it's like, I guess Lowe's and stuff has this little thing that looks like a little toilet seat that goes right on a 5-gallon bucket.
Nomadic fanatic, he talks about it.
Yeah, and he talks. They call it the Lucky Loo. The Lucky Loo, and it's a portable pooper. You know, so you could do that. So it'd be handy in a power outage and stuff. You could always do that, you know, if you had to. Sue said another story. Same cousin was flying from Australia to the U.S. on 9/11, and her plane was the last to land in the USA. Cousins in L.A. got her from the airport, and my sister drove, and I drove across the country nonstop to get her. So, yeah, that was quite a thing. Rafik says, poop in a bucket, what the hell? Hey, Rafik gets crazy, but they do it all the time. You watch some of these videos of the nomads traveling around and boondocking, and yeah, they do that all the time. I guess if you have to, you know, that's the whole deal, if you have to, but wouldn't be my first choice, but in emergency, I guess that's what you have to do. Do what you do, you know. Yeah, you have to consider what viewers have the capability to watch. Yeah, when you upload it. So, yeah, if you put up a, 4K video or a really high quality video, it's all great, but maybe your viewers can't see it because their computer or their phone or whatever they're watching isn't capable of it, and they can't see your video. So right now, if you upload everything in 1080, majority of people have pretty easy time with 1080, and I think they can lower their quality on your video, what they watch it as. I have it easy because I can get about anything because I have high speed everything, but you got to think of the viewers on it. Rat, yeah. Nomads more like cavemen. They are. They definitely are more like cavemen. There's one channel I watch. They live in a camper van. He built out plywood, and they live a pretty rough life, and he's defending his lifestyle, which is fine for him. Not everybody wants to do that, but yeah, some of them live a pretty rugged life, and a lot of them do it, they say, by choice, and it wouldn't be my choice. I like comfort, Ron says a guy at the club has one of them buckets he keeps in his RC trailer. Yeah, it's like you're out there, and you can do what you have to. We're lucky our road trek has all the facilities, and I'm able to, I have access to our septic tank, so I'm able to dump our tanks right here at home, so it's no problem. And so we have our own bathroom, even though the club has an outhouse. At times it's kind of nasty, so we have our own, which makes it good. Oh, Jeff B says, you're learning me, Bob. Oh, what do you gotta do, huh, Ron? Yeah. No, I'm glad I'll tell people what I know. I don't know everything, but if I do know something, I'll try to share that along with that. And that's how I learn from other people. I learn from old people. I've always done my whole life. Even when I was young, I always figured these old people have experience, and they know they've made mistakes, and they figured out maybe the right way to do things. And so I've always tried to take an old person and learn from them. They have a lot of knowledge. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. Take someone older, more knowledge, and kind of like stealing from them. What they know is like you take that knowledge and use it for yourself, and it's like you're doing yourself a favor. Oh, he said they don't like them houses. Yeah, so, yeah, they're nasty. I've used one out the field, and even though we have the camper, I don't always use it. I'll go to the house now and then, but yeah, you do what you got to do on it. Yeah, nothing worse than outhouse, but back in the day, that's all people had was outhouses. Basically, a hole in the ground with a little moon on the little shanty, and that's where you went. I see some winners camping during bike week, and some stuff that you shouldn't even even in prison. I know they got some crazy stuff, and yeah, when bike week comes down, some of them will camp. They'll just camp in a tent and stuff. You know, bike week, even Biketoberfest, at times it gets cold here. I don't want to camp in a tent, so pretty rough camping there. Some of them. Sue said it was sad, but it was a great road trip. She was 16 when we drove back. We let her drive on Route 66, and we went to Vegas, and it was desert, so we...
Deserted.
Oh, deserted, okay. So we did T-shirts, picture of USA, and said, road trip summer 2001.
We didn't want to commemorate 9/11 on our T-shirts, so we didn't say road trip 9/11. So we said September 2001.
September 2001.
So that was the first T-shirt we did.
Yeah, Jeff said, I make a practice of hanging with people more knowledgeable than me, which isn't hard. Well, I say here, it's easy for me to find people who have more knowledge than I do. But yeah, it's just good thinking, you know. You always gotta it's like you're taking from them, you know, but you're not, you know. You're just kind of learning what they have learned on their own, you know. There's a lot of things I'd like to learn, and still learning every day, you know. Ron says they are cold as hell in the winter. Yeah, go out in the outhouse. Believe it or not, when we were kids, I don't know if Ron remember this or not, but we had an outhouse. We our little Ron would rate the little house that Dad built there in Lake Fork, Ohio. Dad built, we had an outhouse when we were pretty young, but we had an outhouse in that. And
we had an outhouse growing up at my grandpa's.
Yeah, a lot of people in our age got to experience outhouses. And, you know, when it's cold outside below zero, that's where you went. You went to the outhouse, you know. You take the Sears catalog, that is your TP, and take the catalog out with you. And everybody says, you going to take it out there to read? I said, no, I'm using it for the paperwork, you know. So, just as I love young people, not millennials, but so much wisdom comes with age. Well, you know, even... you can learn from the young people. I do that, especially techie stuff. They tend to grab onto that, and so you can actually learn from the young people too. It's not that just old people have wisdom. It's what young people do with the wisdom that they've acquired, you know. So yeah, you can learn from young people on it. Ron says yes, it was cold like ice in the winter. It was. It really was. Yeah, Sears and the Roebuck catalog. That's right, Bob. Yeah, well, you don't even get those anymore, do they? No, they don't have a catalog.
Sears, no.
And
JCPenney used to have one. Sears Roebuck.
Rafi goes, old people, hey. I'm an old person. I don't know at what age are you young, and what age is it? They call it kids. But what happens? The older you get, you start calling people kids. But when you were that age, you called the younger people kids. So now, you know, 40-year-olds, I kind of call them kids.
We called them old. They were old then.
Yeah. And when I was 40, though, you know, the 20 and under were kids. So it's all relative on your age, what you call a kid, you know. And, you know, I'm 65 now, so, you know, 40-year-olds are kids to me, you know, but when I was 40, 20-year-olds were kids, so it's just relative, you know.
Yeah, Ron said millennials.
Yeah, millennials. Yeah, that's my famous.
With your nose ring.
It was a nose ring.
Jeff
nose ring.
At that video.
I don't know if you guys didn't do it. Go to Sue's YouTube and check out.
I don't have very many videos.
She don't have very many videos, but she did one me messing around with the paper clip. With a nose ring, a lip ring, and I was acting crazy, and it was funny, and so yeah, it was my crazy video that Sue put on her channel.
Bob couldn't. I told him about your comment, Jeff, and Bob couldn't see it. We finally figured out it was on my page.
Yeah. Ron said you don't look at that book very long in the cold winter. No, you don't linger through that. You just go in and get the job done and out. Right, I think so true. Yeah.
People take their phones nowadays.
Yeah, you take your phone out there.
It's not much useful otherwise.
Just says, oh yeah, techie things is a different story. Yeah, you know, some people are techie, some people aren't techie.
I'm not techie.
Sue's not techie. And if you're techie, most of that stuff, you have fun doing it. People that aren't techie are irritated by technical, logical things. And, you know, I get people ask me, we had the local hobby shop wanted to know if I'd look at somebody's helicopter and set it up for them. And I just don't have time, you know. And because they know I'm techie like that. And sometimes you got to learn to say no with, you start working on something, it's like, I just don't have time to do that right now, you know. And I'd have to kind of familiar myself. I've been flying helicopters for a while, and for me to set it up, I'd have to familiarize myself with it before I could show him what to do with it. And I just didn't have time to do that. So yeah, I found that the older I get, the further away old seems to get. Yeah, it does, you know. Old is the number anymore, you know. And so yeah, things change as you get older. I know your body changes. That's my biggest irritation of getting older. Things that I like to do, I just wear out. I can't do it. You know, simple little things like, why am I so wore out? This shouldn't be that hard. And I would love to do it, but I can't hold up to it anymore. That's the worst part of getting old, you know. Yeah, it just says I haven't even graduated to techie yet. Well, I guess I'm techie.
Yeah, you're techie.
You know.
And a few years ago, I was up in Ohio. My little granddaughter was 2 years old. She had her mom's iPad, and she knew how to get the iPad, turn it on, find music, search out and find Lady Gaga, and just switch it. And all she said was Gaga. I didn't even know how to turn on the iPad. Yeah. And she knew how to find what she wanted.
Yeah, you're right, Rackney. It sucks getting old. It really does. Yeah, I think techie stuff is kind of a natural thing. Either you are or you aren't. You just kind of get it. You know, I mean, I don't really ever get stumped on a computer. Never had a computer course in my life. Never took a class. Never did nothing. But I enjoy it. I love messing with computers. I've had a computer all the way back since, what was that? One with a little cassette drive, and you know, I had an old Tandy computer. I mean, way back when nobody had a computer, I had one. So just kind of grew up with it. Just said since my heart attack, I have trouble retaining information. Yeah, and I'm with you, Jeff. I mean, I can't remember, you know, stupid little things like yesterday we did this Colby Alderman Park, and I don't know how many times I repeat it to myself. I was doing a video and trying to repeat it, and I forgot that name, and I've been talking about it all morning, and then, oh yeah, it doesn't pop in, but I've always had that problem. Information doesn't stick, like names and stuff. I forget it, you know. It drives me nuts.
See, I have that.
Sue can remember that, yeah.
I have trivia. I
can't remember no trivia enough, but I can figure things out, you know. That's not a problem, but the retention of just short-term memory, I guess, that information that's why I can't spell. I don't, if you ever notice, if you send me a message, I have very short replies, because for me it's a struggle just to spell the word in order to reply back. So my return messages are very, very short, because it's a struggle for me to try to type it back on it. Now, I can talk to you and tell you all you want, but yeah, the typing, I don't like the text, and I'd rather talk, you know. It's just because I can't spell the word. It's a struggle, you know. Raffing says dial-up was the best. Oh yeah, I used to have the modem and dial-up, and the thing would ring, do all that little screechy thing there, and hook online, and boy, that was the old days when you really, really slow internet. Ron says I play with techies stuff till I figured out, yeah, that's what it is, you know. Ron said he can't remember crap, and that's what I've always been at. When I was young, I couldn't remember nothing, and but yeah, the techie stuff, I'll keep going until I figure it out, you know. And Ron does the same thing. Of course, we're brothers. We're probably geared a lot alike, but yeah, I just keep going at it until I finally figure it out, you know. And then I'll forget it. And someone will ask me, how do you do that? I have to go back and figure it out again. I can figure it out quicker the second time, but I have to figure it out again. So for me to just say something right off the top of my head, do this, 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 and this, I go, no, wait a minute. How did I do that? You set it in front of me, I'll do it. But for me to sit down and say, okay, here's what you do, this, 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 and this, I'm not wired that way. Put it in front of me, I'll fix it, you know. It's just the way I am, you know. Jeff said when I attended paralegal school, the biggest thing they taught us was to find the information, not actually and not actually learn it. Yeah, so if you do it, you learn it. That's the biggest thing.
That's what I always wanted to do, Jeff, was be a paralegal.
You're a paralegal, huh? Yeah, you learn it, you know. That's, by doing it, you learn it. That's the biggest deal there is. Yeah, just me either, Ron. That's good for the brain, Ron said. Yeah, that's the way I have to do it. Because I forget stuff. A lot of I blame in the weeds of the day. I don't know. It's like, I didn't do much weed, but I want to start. It's like, as they get that legal, the only reason I probably didn't do weed because it was illegal, but nothing against done some weed. It's like they're going to legalize that, or whatever, you know. It's coming quick, you know.
Michigan now.
Michigan's got it. Colorado's got it. I mean, it's coming in its day. So I seen where I think it was Marlboro bought a big thing into marijuana factories, and they're smart because it's coming to the day where you'll be able to buy a pack of weed, you know, and marijuana, and smoke it like a cigarette, and the government will tax it, and you know, government loves to tax things, and so I don't know why they haven't done it before this. And for medical reasons, if it gets away from pain, nothing wrong with that, you know. Just said, haha, rat, I was going to keep that to myself. Yeah, you know, that's basically all medicine does, is it numbs you from a pain. You know, I know Jeff suffers with some things there, and I do, and Sue does, and Ron does, and most people do. And you know, if you take a little weed, which is just like medical, and it numbs the pain, well, what's wrong with that? You know, there's not a thing wrong with it, because it gives you some relief in that. And the older you get, the worse it gets. So I'm all for that, you know. I don't know why they just don't let it go, and they've probably made things worse by making it illegal than they did if they would have just legalized it, you know. So that's my thought for the day. Hey, we come here about an hour. I think I'll get ready to get out of here. Glad to see everybody come aboard. It got kind of cloudy. It was sunny here, so I don't know what we're going to be up the rest of today, but there will be something. There's always a ton of things to be done, so I never get bored. If I get bored, I take a nap. So that's the way it was. Ron says I'm going to get out of here and get some things done. Yeah, same here. Cloudy here too. It's like, yeah, I don't know what happened to the clouds. It was sunny there for a minute. So either way, we're going to get out of here. We'll see everybody again. The weekend's coming up. It's in sight. Hoping to maybe go out and do a little RC flying, and maybe do some more filming. I need to get some more of my parks, figure out which park I want to do. Just exactly, Bob, in my opinion, the government should have packaged it and put a tax stamp on it. And years ago, yeah, that's what they should have done. So, okay, guys, we're gonna get out of here for today, and find out. See everybody again. Appreciate everybody. You guys, all the Kennel Club, all you lucky dogs. So glad to have you come on. You guys, we'll see you on Monday. Monday afternoon. Yeah, Monday afternoon. Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So we'll see you guys again on Monday. Have a good one.